afternoon. Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas, and this Nana is by herself today. If you weren't aware of it, Miss Zoe had surgery a couple of weeks ago while she was here visiting. We were supposed to be having fun, and we ended up in an emergency room, and the girl had to have surgery. So she's still recovering, and she's doing great. But you know, anytime you have surgery, you have to recover, right? Especially when you're at the hospital and everything else. So everything's going great. And it is our anniversary weekend, and we're just sort of got low key because we had enough excitement. Plus, we have plans in the works a little bit later for our cruise. So, that today we're going to make 3 cards. They're fun cards, right? With this Bikes and Blooms kit. This is an all-exclusive kit, and we're just going to make the 3 cards today. And you'll have to just check back later for some alternatives. I like it because everything's all-inclusive, right? We got the adhesive there, the ink, you had to provide your own block, right? But you know, everything's there. You know, when Zoe was in the hospital, that's one of the things I did at the hospital is I made cards, and she gave the staff there thank you notes for taking care of her so well while we were there. And you know, it's just a great way to be able to carry cards with you and be able to make them and so forth and all, right? And plus, it's a great way to get together because Miss Zoe, when she was recovering, it didn't matter if she was going to be recovering or not, we still would have done some creative things together because we always do. But because, right, she was limited, we sat there and we made some creative cards from kits as well as some designs that she had made, and we made some of those as well too. So there's just so many ways you can use this and do it. So let's go down hands and let's make the ones for this month because we do door prizes afterwards. And it might be a little bit later today because we're going to make sure to eat some dinner and celebrate our weekend here, finish it off. But this is what we're making today. We're making 3 cute cards, right? And don't forget to leave comments, right? Because that is how you get put in the drawing. Whether you put emojis, comments, or whatever, we go back the first of the month as well as today. And we take all that in and add it and draw your names. So the first card we're going to make, right, you can see it's all here, and this is all the kit. This month's kit came with some thread or twine, whichever, I don't know what they call them. And we got some butterflies. And then, this is the ink. This is one of our Calypso Coral. It's Calypso Coral. It's our stuff, see, it's one of our new ink colors, but it's not. It's Calypso Coral. So let's put this aside. These are very easy to make, and I love it, right? This is so summer. I don't know that we would go biking here. I personally wouldn't in the afternoon because we're having 94-degree weather and a heat index of 101 or so. But it's definitely something we could do right otherwise. So let's go ahead and make some cards. It's a great time right now to sit there and be inside doing this kind of stuff. And know that we're going to give it to someone. Because this is the first one that we're going to do right here. So this one right here. And you're going to find that these are easy. We're using all the stamps in the kit except for one. One's a bicycle. So how cute would that be? We had some paper not too long ago that you could just stamp bicycles all over. Hello, Larly. I'm so excited to see you for Tea Party Bingo Tuesday. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, so we have Tea Party Bingo. We have a retreat coming up in July. A lot of things going on. So you just need to, if you're not signed up for the newsletter, you need to sign up for the newsletter to keep up to date. All right, so things is we got this here. What I love about kits is they show you to do things that you may not do on your own. So, for example, this sentiment tag is not going to be a full circle. It's going to have part of the circle cut off, right? So sometimes I don't know about you, but sometimes I get inspired by the kits because they do things I wouldn't normally think of doing, right? I don't normally think of cutting off part of a circle and stamping the sentiment, but they did it, so you know what? They did it in a kit, why not do it yourself, right? All right, so they've got the images already here for you on this one, and I'm just coming in here, and it's just stamp it right here. Now, kits are a great way to accumulate different colors, right? At just a spot color that you can carry with you, but at the same time, the other thing is that it's a great way just to collect colors, period, right? Oh, there is. Hello, Christine. A lot of summer fun indeed. You know, it's so funny because, right, we got Christmas in July. I mean, everything just started happening. And it's just a lot of exciting things. But, it's just a lot of exciting, good people, right? It's a great way for us to get together, create together. It's just fun, fun, fun. And I like surprising people. So that's the other one. I like to surprise people. All right, so this one here, look how big the bicycle is, okay? So you can see that they're literally using their images to go starting at one edge, right? There's everything we've done on here, you can see that we've started at one edge. This is going to be put up on dimensionals. And so I'm using actually some spares I have because I didn't want to use my brand new ones. I like to finish up my old ones first before I go open up a whole new pack with something. So we're going to tackle this pack I already got. I know, I'm looking forward to seeing both of you. I don't know what your weather's like, and I would hope that in where you're at, you got cooler weather than we have way down here. I mean, I can't complain too much, right? Because during the month of June, we have had rain. And, you know, so I really can't complain too much. We've got green grass. The last couple of years, that has not been the case at this time of the year. We've actually had no grass like in May just because of lack of rain. So try not to take rain for granted and be very, very grateful when we can have it rain. Now this one's got glue dots on it. I'll tell you when I made mine, I just made mine with dimensionals. And then we have this other piece on here that's going to be really easy to do too. It's just a straight piece that we're going to sit up there and I put dimensionals on here as well too. Right? Because I can, right? Sometimes we do things because we can. Sometimes I try to follow directions as best I can the first time. So in case you're wondering how I know, they don't tell you, they don't give you descriptive directions, right? But they give you step by step. So you can see where they stamped. You can see here, these little small dark spots are glue dots. This is dimensionals. And then the little green, they're shaped just like the dimensionals. So there's your sign of what you're going to be using, right? So instead of glue dots, I decided to go and just use dimensional small. These are mini dimensionals, so these are not the large dimensionals. You can see how they fit nicely in here in between the bicycle and stuff. So, I mean, it's really nice, right? I like it because kits are just easy to take with you and go. I throw them in a bag, like when I went to the hospital. In fact, I had a couple of them I had incompleted. And I sat up there and I just threw, I guess 2 or 3 of them I had in there. Because I knew thank you notes. I knew we were going to tell people thank you. And even though somebody had surgery, there's no reason why they can't write thank you notes. Right, she had enough meds to be able to go walking down the hallway and everything, so she could write notes. And she did that all on her own, so it wasn't like Nana had to prod her. Nana just happened to have them available versus just doing a piece of paper. All right, so this is just going to line up right like this here. So I just try to use the picture as the guideline, right? There is no right or wrong. It's your card. You're going to give it to somebody, and they don't have the instructions. And they're not going to care, right? All they're going to care about is you've made a beautiful card for them. That's all they're going to care about. Oops. See if I can get that off. All right. So I'm just going to tuck this right under here. So you can see it everything just crosses over just a little bit, right? Just enough to give it the depth there. And we've already done this here, so I'm going to go ahead and get these on here. Yeah, my nails are sort of short, right? Right now, because I went ahead and had them trimmed, cut off a little bit. When you're doing so many things, right, sometimes nails just get in the way. A lot of things can get in the way, really. Right, so I just had to do what I need to do. Oops. So they actually have this on the edge. Let me get this to the edge so you can see, right? To me, this just gives us permission, right? When we get into kits and they do this, and they put something right on the edge like that, guess what? You can do it yourself. Now they have a little bit of the pink, and I'm not quite lined up there. So I'm just going to lightly do it like that, and I'll put it down right here. And see how that nicely that goes? But see how that edge, so if you can't see it, the edge is like right there. Now I like to show you that, because lots of times I personally don't think of that, right? Until somebody does it, and I get the impression, and I thought, I can do that, right? I just stuck 2 of those together accidentally. So they just put 4 of these on here. It's up to you how many you put. I know the bicycle, they put a bunch on the bicycle. And I would tell you when I made my samples, instead of putting all the small dimensionals, I actually used some strips. So if you never use strips, I actually used the strips here because I didn't want to consume all my time to sit there and just do this here. But, you know, all this is in a kit. Include, like I already showed you. So if you've never done it, kits, they're fun. So, I mean, these are once a month. So we do a kit together last Sunday of the month, right? So whether you have this kit or you have another kit, because we have 2 kits that come out every single month, whatever, just come join us, right? It's all about getting together and creating together. So see, I can ask Christine and Laura Lee if they are working on anything today. This is so pretty. I like it because it's so nice and summery. And I'm looking for my Wink of Stella because I just had it. There we go. I did. I just touched up my flowers. Well, now this is not in the kit, right? But I don't know. Wink of Stella to me is something I just keep everywhere because I'm always using it. All right, and then they have us. Now they used 12 inches. I'm not going to use 12 inches because I don't need 12 inches to make a bow. But one of the things I thought you could do if you're going to use 12 inches is you could wrap it around the basket. That's not how they're giving the instructions, so I didn't do that. But I definitely don't need 12 inches to make a bow. So I'm just going to make a simple bow, shorten it so I can get it down to about like they did. Because usually I can make a bow like this in about with 8 inches, right? Allow them for my fingers to get in the way if I need them to get in the way. And then I'm just going to put this on with a glue dot. So this is a little different. Normally they would have glue dots, right? If you're going to use glue dots and they're showing you use glue dots. So it's a little different. But I always have them on hand. I usually always have the leftovers too from this and kits. Like I said, you get a block when you do the first kit that you subscribe to, because it is a subscription, but you can cancel at any time, or you can do it on prepaid. But yeah, so you only get a block the first time. But anytime you get a kit that has where you're going to do stamping, they do have blocks in there, or just the regular kits, not the paper pumpkin. So anyway, we're going to put this here, butterfly here. And we got some more here, and we have one more on the basket itself that they have right in here. Okay, so there's your first card, just very nice and simple, and they are pretty, right? They got the nice summery colors without all the heat in them. All right, let's look at the next card. So number 2, so we're just going in the order just like they have here. All right, so we got a basket full of flowers. I can honestly tell you, I've had bicycles like this growing up, but I never had flowers in them, so that's nice and different. I guess if we lived somewhere, we rode bicycles everywhere, and we're going to go pick up some flowers and all, that would be a great way to do it. So this one here, we're just going to stamp, and you know what, they really make the shape nice. I got the wrong tag, there's the right tag. This for the next one. Okay, so we're going to actually have this right here that we're going to put on here with dimensionals, and this one, you got a couple of punch outs because they actually have you wrapping the twine right across the center of the basket. All right, and I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this first. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment because I have my blocks already ready. And these are very easy because right on this stamp here, I've got 2 small flowers there, a large flower, and a third one. So you can see here that wherever you got the largest space, that's where those 2 smaller flowers with the large one in the center is going to be. So it's not like we have to worry about it or position it because they've already given you the concept of where you're going to actually put it by doing that, right? So I'm just going to come here. You know, if you didn't want your flowers this dark, you could do them lighter. I just went ahead. They don't show you stamping off, but let me show you. If you wanted them lighter, just do that, and then this would be your second color, right? So to me, the second stamp off looks more the color of the background, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It doesn't do anything wrong with having the flowers that dark. I don't have any flowers like this to compare because the fact is the deer eat our flowers. I have flowers going up to my house porch, but the deer have no problems at all walking up our sidewalk to our front door to eat the flowers. Not bashful about it at all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on with dimensionals. Now I'm going to go ahead and put mine on with strips just to save us a little bit of time, right? But if I was in a kit to go, I wouldn't have the strips with me. I usually always have just my regular dimensionals and my mini dimensionals and my glue dots. But right, whatever you do. So I don't have a chew, but I actually have a little zip up bag that I put my pair of scissors in with my dimensionals, glue, Stampin' Seal, whatever I need, right, to create, or I think I might need to create, including Wink of Stella, and my bone folder and scissors. And I put them in a little bag that just I can throw in with me when I go places and I think I'm going to create, right? Road trip is another one for me. Now I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella. Now Wink of Stella, if you accidentally do it too light, that's okay. It'll help fill in some of that gap. If not, you can do it with blending brushes. I shouldn't say blending brushes. You could do it with a blending pen, right, and an ink pad. Or just let it be, right? Because flowers are not all exactly the same, even though they're on the same bush, right? One might be lighter, darker. Bug might have ate off part of the leaf or something. All right, so this one here has us going and taking, so it shows you right here, right, that you're going to use 14 inches, and it shows you right here that they're actually wrapping that trim around. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And actually, I just stuck it through here, like that. And I just went and put it to the left side, right, because we know this tag's, and I didn't measure it out. This is 13 inches long. I'm looking at mine right here. And actually, I just did a little extra like that to get to my 15 inches. But you can measure it. There has a measuring right here. So if you don't realize it, every kit has a measurement right here so you can measure things, right? So you're not in limbo of, you know, you're out somewhere, like I was at the hospital and I needed 15 inches. Well, I didn't have to worry about not having a ruler with me. But all I had to do is use the side of the instructions. So that doesn't, it's not just Paper Pumpkin, it's also with any of the kits they do that. Just makes it easier, right? Because they're just all inclusive with you ready to go. So it just makes that easy and nice for that to happen. So now, for example, here, like I've got one really longer than the other. I think I'm okay. Because right, we're on the side here instead of down the middle. I have a tendency to measure everything and do it as a guide down the center. So I'm just going to put it over here to the left, right. So it's got a printed mark right there. And that's the mark I'm going to use. And I'm just going to tie my bow. And I'll tweak it from there how I need to tweak it. Alright. We're just going to get that size down there. And we get the size down here. Alright. Now just tighten it just a little bit to make sure that's nice and secure. And then we're just going to stamp this here. This has got Best Wishes. Now if you didn't need any Best Wishes stamps, anything stamped, then you could do what we could easily just as well do a thank you. Thank you will fit on here as well. I'm going to do Best Wishes, right? So cards just aren't limited, right, to birthdays, anniversaries, and stuff like that. We seem to think of that, but right, you can send a person a card anytime. I just recently sent somebody a card because I was thinking of them, right? Sometimes we play phone tag and all. It's not easy to get to people, so the card is a great way to do this. Again, we're just going to use the dimensionals here on the back, and that's what they got to show. They just show you using 2, and then we're going to put it right here, and then we're just going to put it right over that trim. So if it hits right, fine. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the sweet email. Yeah, actually, my husband was in here talking and visiting to me as I was getting ready. And I realized I didn't even send him a copy, so I sent him a copy. So yeah. It was fun. Life's such an adventure, right? Life is such an adventure. Because I have to remember a lot of people, you know, didn't know me, right? When 27 years ago, because I wasn't in San Antonio, Texas. I was in Corpus Christi, Texas. I lived there. And then once we got married, we moved to Round Rock, Texas because of my career. And then we ended up in San Antonio again because of my career. So life is an adventure. It's funny how we might meet up with people in life. So the nice thing about this is look how the shape of this is. All right, so this is our clue, right, that we're just going to anchor it in the corner right here. So sometimes people go, well, what do you do when we have DSP paper and the image is partially cut off, right? You do right what we're doing right here, right? We're just going to line it up to some edges, whether it's left or right, depending on where the item's cut off at, and use it, right? There's no reason why you still can't use it. Lots of times people won't use it because part of it's cut off. Well, I like it that they show you here, just use it. Butt it up to a corner, whether it's a left corner, center, right corner, whatever you need it to be. Right? Because the person you send it to doesn't care. They really don't. We fuss and worry about it more than anybody else. So yes, Larly, I made my husband an anniversary card from our retreat in the spring. I just didn't show it to him back then. So it was a surprise to him to see it. It wasn't one he had already seen. So for me, I don't know about you guys, but I share what I make with my husband and get his opinion if he likes it or he doesn't. I usually have more than one design, so I'll ask him. He'll tell me, and then I'll ask him why, right? Why is it your favorite? So yeah, those are always good things. It helps, helps me think about how to do things in the future or for different people, right? Because when we create, it's not just about us, right? It's easy to create when you're creating for somebody, and I have somebody in mind. Linda and I talked about that the other day, because when I made for her mom's 93rd birthday, right? I mean, I wanted to give her the world on one card, or in one bag, or all that I was doing for her. So yeah, somebody's coming up the stairwell. So anyway, so yeah, so it's always thinking about that and who I'm going to give it to, who we're going to inspire it to. And the other thing I do too, I don't know about you guys, I know Laura Lee, you have a nonprofit foster group or whatever that you like to make cards for and give them cards so they can use them. And I like to do it for cards for kids in the hospital. Ooh, there's my daughter, my favorite daughter. Mm-hmm. She looks like she's feeling pretty good today too. So, yeah, she's feeling decent. Okay. Are you here by yourself? No. Oh, okay. So anyway, we're just going to put this right here. All right, and there is our card number 2. This one has butterflies also. Now, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter what you're doing, right? They always give you extras, so don't worry about it. If one drops on the floor or whatever you do, right? Whatever happens, doesn't matter. They always give you extras, so you don't have to worry about that. You have plenty of trim, plenty of this, and sometimes we have extra tags too. All right, so here we go. This is our second card, and we put some embellishment on that, and this is our third card. So this one's nice and simple too. Now this one I went ahead and used my strips because this is a 4x5 1/4 that's just going to go right here. And for me, it was just as easy just go and put my strips here instead of doing the little bitty ones. Yeah, so my lovely daughter was the flower girl in our wedding. Whoop, whoop. And we both wore matching dresses. We both are barefooted. And we both went having fun, just having fun. In fact, my dad, who gave me away for my wedding, right? He goes, are you really going to go barefooted? I said, absolutely. I mean, both of us had nice pedicures and everything done for the wedding. And I said, absolutely. I said, my husband-to-be told me all he wanted to do is make sure that I had fun at the wedding. So, going barefooted by the beach, to me, is lots of fun. Okay, now I should have most probably for you stamped this in advance, and I didn't because I'm talking. But that's okay. I many a times do this way anyway, because I am most probably talking to someone or doing something, and I just come to it like that. But you might want to do it flat first. As Linda tells me, she says, I've been doing this for a while, and I have. And I just grab whatever I have and I just do. Yeah, let's get it there. It's okay. All right, so the other things we have here, we're going to add these 2 items here, and these are going to be put up here with dimensionals. And again, because I had them handy and I would like to save my mini dimensionals, I just tore some of this off. It would be a very cute mini album. It would be, and I tell you, Laura Lee, I made a mini album for Club this past month. We're not, the month's not over, but we did it Thursday night, right? And I did those little mini albums, and you know what? They are so easy to make. And I can see making more of those. You can make it with these, would be really so cute. Yep, you could. You could put a key ring through here too, right? And they're just cute and fun. All right, we're gonna stamp our sentiment on here. Now the only thing with this one is this one's got the ribbon, so we're not tying a bow on this one. This one actually has you just sort of loosely putting the ribbon down with some glue dots. I bet you came over here to give me my surprise shirts for people for the tea party. You can't say what they are. Except other than the shirts. They heard the word shirts. Can't say anything else. It's a surprise.
No, they're downstairs.
All right. Okay, I missed this cloud. This cloud is supposed to, when I did the first one, I missed the cloud. And since my daughter is here, let me see if she can.
It's not a cloud.
What is it? Oh, I was supposed to stamp it. It's flowers.
It's flowers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like, what did I do? Okay, I don't know if I did that on my first one. I didn't do it on the first one. I thought it was a cloud. So I could have made it into a cloud, right? Yeah, I could have. I didn't. On my first one, I didn't even use it. I skipped it. I think because I don't think it was a cloud. Yep, so there you go. But clouds come in all different types of shapes anyway, right? That's right. I do like the mini albums, and I really like because they were simple, right? And because that was one thing. Yep, that was one thing was making the album for the club this month in the class was that it was easy to make. And I was debating whether to make that at the retreat or not. I'd have to think because we wouldn't do Silly Old Bear because I've already done like over 30 items with Silly Old Bear. And I already got other ideas too. So I wasn't going to do Silly Old Bear, but we got enough pretty paper that you can make an album almost out of anything, right? So I was debating that because it's always debating of what we're going to do as a 3D project. Or we could even just do it as a team project too, right? We don't have to do, I'm looking to see how these flowers are going. They're going like this here. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're just going to do this here. So yes, I love it. Right? Mini albums, you got to find a simple mini album. I don't know about you, but for me, I need a simple mini album. If it's not simple, it's not going to happen. Sorry.
I figured out what they were called.
What's that?
In a show, they refer to like the mini ones as brag books.
Oh, brag books. There you go.
I was like, I heard a different term for those mini ones, and I couldn't remember what it was.
Well, I'll tell you, the one I did for, in fact, I think it's behind you there. I did for the club this month. You can easily put 3 photos on there, and you can actually maneuver it around and do more if you wanted to, right? So I like that. So, but you're right. They're just mini brag books, and I think of like the grandkids, the 16-year-olds especially, right? They're not interested in a photo album or anything like that. But I'm thinking if they have a little brag book where they got their little photos, or like the one year we did the family photos. I did it for them so they can know who their family was when they were just little and they had to do all that stuff for school. Yeah. Remember how they had to do little albums or something to say, here's my family, or my family loves me or something. I don't know. It was something along those lines, right? Knowing your family and who's your family. So it's a great way to put something together for them on that. So I'm just going to take this right here, and I'm just going to put it here and here. And I've got extra here, but these kind of things like this, I need extra. I'm going to come right across, hopefully, there, with it sticking out. But yeah, little brag books, right? I mean, there's something to brag about. Okay, so we're going to put this down. I actually am going to do another glue dots on here. I know they didn't call for it, but because I got the ribbon on the other, I just went ahead and did that. Because it's just going to line up right behind here, right? So it doesn't matter. Jen, you want to see if you can find that little book I did back there? Oh, you got it?
I was looking for it.
It's in the basket. So I've been working on putting everything in a basket. Yeah, that's everything for the class. So that when we have the tea party, right? You see it? So yeah, come directly behind me because I got the stuff there ready for tea party. So we're doing Winnie the Pooh for tea party. So it's in there. I had to organize things that way for me. Yeah, don't dump it out accidentally. I worked real hard to get. I really worked real hard to get it organized. There, I can trim this off. Then I'll show you what we did on Thursday. So this is just, this was the first time. So lots of times in our club, and actually anything I do, I usually include at least one 3D project. And lots of times it's treat holders. It could be a tote. We did totes. But it's always a 3D project and 4 cards usually. And then you get product. So that's so this particular time, right? I did it this month. I did it different for the class. I only made 2 greeting cards because we had the retreat where we made some, and then we made some for the stamp camp. So I did only 2 cards for the monthly class, or you could take it as club, either or. And then what I did is the other was 3D projects. So I'll show you this. So there's the last card there. All right. So let me show you. So that's the 3rd card. Now let me show you what we did for this here. So here is a good example of what we did this past month. We sat there and made this mini album. And I went ahead and adhered the ribbon with some tear and tape there to hold it down, and you can untie it. So here's the front of it. So you can do whatever you want, as little, as much as you want. But when you open it, I did it like this here. So I already know who I'm going to give this to, and I want to make sure they think about that. And then here's the other part of it, because I have several kiddos that like Pooh Bear. 2 of them, Tigger is their favorite. One has Eeyore as their favorite, and I forgot what the other one said their favorite was. I don't remember what John's was. But look at here. See how this just folds open? This really isn't that hard to make. You put 3 photos here, right? If you wanted more photos, you could substitute any of these out. And on the outside here, you could easily substitute these out. But I wanted all this here because I've got several of them that like Pooh, and I wanted to make sure Pooh was all in here. And then I also wanted to make sure that this was here as well too. And you know what? I could have just as easily put something on the back instead of just the ribbon. But and even if I wanted to now, I could still put something over it, right? Because you're only, let me see if I can tell you what the size is here. This is roughly about a 4x4. So, if you wanted 3 7/8, just so you get a slim part of the gold, you could easily put something on the back just like I did on the front, or just even the 100 Acre Woods. I sat there and embossed it on 2-tone cardstock, and then I used one of the sanding things that you do for your fingernails, and I just came across it until I got to the white. Could have easily done that on the back. In fact, now that I talked about it, I think that's what I'm going to go back and do. Now that I've told you about what I could have done, I'm going to come back and do that. I'm going to put brown, just like I did on the front, come back and put it on the back here, cover the ribbon. So, see, I even inspire myself when we come live with this. So there you go. Pooh, I'm telling you, Laura Lee, my brain is still going with all kinds of stuff for Pooh, and even for Halloween and Christmas, right? We're not limited just by now. So here are the cards that we made today. Just simple and easy. We added a little bit of Wink of Stella that wasn't in there. I showed you my Pooh stuff there. And there you go. So I hope you enjoyed it, right? It's truly, you'll be able to say hi, say Wi-Fi. It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. And we have done a lot of Pooh stuff. You can see there's Pooh stuff in the background. We have, in fact, you know what I realized, Jennifer? I think you got this for me. Did you get this for me?
You know how long you've had that?
I don't know how long I've had it.
You probably had it since we first moved here.
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
in your office when you were at the newspaper. That's how much I remember it. And you had it still for the longest time wrapped in its paper.
I did.
Plastic still.
I think most probably just in the last year I actually took the plastic wrapping off. And started using it because I needed a Post-it note to hold something down.
You had that.
That's too funny. Yeah, and so when people ask me, yes, yes, because my offices, wherever my career's taken me to different cities and all. So my office has always had Disney in it, right? Because I have a lot of Disney stuff, and you need inspired when you're at work all day, right? So there you go, and we got Disney all over here. So that's okay. Well, that's what happens when you have people here with you, right? They can tell on you. So there,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yes, we most probably have Disney in every
Almost
room.
every room.
Almost every room.
Okay.
There might be a room, maybe two, that's been spared, but it's only a matter of time, right? Even the bathrooms have Disney in them,
Yes.
so yeah, have to
Yes.
spare that.
All three.
Right, that's right. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed it today. My favorite daughter here with me, so yes. And it's a little quieter today, but anyway, thank you for joining us, and we will sit up there and do the door prize drawing as soon as we get off and get through visiting and get something to eat, and I'll sit there and put everything on the wheel of names, and we'll do some door prizes, all right? We'll post them, so be sure to come back and check to see if you're a winner. All right, with that, thank you for supporting us not only here, but also on Instagram and YouTube. And with that, have a blessed and amazing week. And I'll be back live on Wednesday. And actually, I'll be doing Scenic Coast. Scenic Coast is part of our retreat, but it's going to be July's club month in class. And it's also what I'll do for the free class to go as well. So be blessed. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.